Today we are heading to one of the highest places in India. In the previous episode, we've travelled through Kashmir and reached Kargil. From there, we made our way to Ladakh. So in this video, we'll be travelling across Ladakh in a vehicle from Kerala House. We'll journey through Khardung top, navigating through snow-covered roads, and then proceed to Nubra Valley. This marks the beginning of our Ladakh episode. So let's start the journey. In the previous episode, we visited the Kargil War Memorial in Dras. Our Trip Untold package covered the journey up to Dras. From there, we took a taxi to Ladakh. This is Kargil town, a valley nestled between two mountains. It is about 10 to 200 kilometers from Kargil to Ladakh. Our journey begins as soon as we reach Ladakh. So without further delay, welcome to Leh Ladakh. It's essential to rest for a full day after arriving in Ladakh to allow our bodies to acclimate to the high altitude. We arrived in Leh yesterday and today we are still resting. We'll start our journey tomorrow. Since today is a free day, I decided to rent a bike and explore the Leh area. On the left side, you can see the Leh airport, and is the highest airport in the world. It's fascinating to watch planes land over here. You can catch connecting flights through Delhi from Kochi. Today, we are not heading to any particular destination. We rented a bike from Kerala House and plan to ride through the Himalayan mountains. First, let me tell you about the places we plan to visit on our Ladakh trip. We'll start from Ladakh and head to Khardung. From there, we'll visit Nubra Valley, Tartak, and the Pangong Lake. Then head to Hanle, continue to Umlingla, the highest altitude road in the world, and finally return through the Puga Valley. This will be a 5 to 6 day trip. This is not my first trip to Ladakh. I first visited Ladakh with my friend Salim on a bike trip in 2017. Salim now lives in Dubai and we travel together whenever we visit once a year. I took a photo with Salim at this place back then. Here it is. It's the same place after 7 years. Although Ladakh is near Kashmir, its geography is entirely different, with long, straight roads and a completely dry climate. The oxygen level is low in Ladakh due to its high altitude, so we need to take precautions. I'll share more important tips later. There are not as many tourists here compared to Kashmir. You can often find deserted roads offering a peaceful vibe. Like in Kashmir, the sunlight in Ladakh is very bright, so wearing sunglasses is essential. Make sure your sunglasses fit well and do not cause discomfort on your ears and eyes. We have reached a small roadside waterfall. In our village, rivers fill up during the rainy season, but here it's the opposite. After winter, the ice melts in summer, filling the rivers. Another unique aspect is that Ladakh doesn't have any rainy season. Instead, it snows. Last year, it rained only once or twice. Ladakh experiences only winter and summer seasons. There's a green oasis in Ladakh amidst the dry landscape created by the farmers. Normally, the soil is not suitable for growing trees, making most of the area dry. However, some places are green and cultivated with wheat, beans and peas being the main crops. The only water source is melting snow, so cultivation occurs only in summer. Not all vegetables can grow here, so the locals rely on lorries from Punjab for food. After some time riding the bike, we head back to our room, but first, we'll visit the Leh market. The market area is very nice, primarily catering to tourists, but the prices are reasonable. Ladakhi is a common language spoken here. Some people know Hindi, but among locals, Ladakhi is preferred. Here's a sign saying, "I love Ladakh." This is the Leh City Post Office. The Leh market is a Tibetan refugee market. In 1959, when the Chinese government annexed Tibet, many Tibetans escaped to India, fleeing Chinese attacks. This market was built to support Tibetan refugees. Tibetans, under the leadership of the Dalai Lama, are known for their peaceful nature and silence. The largest Tibetan refugee settlement in India is in Bailakuppe, Karnataka. Tibetans do not have Indian citizenship, so they cannot buy land or vote. We completed our visit to the market and returned to our room. The next morning, we started our journey in a Jimny for the next few days. The houses here are built with soil bricks, and most do not use cement. Since there is no rain, cement is not necessary. From November to March, Khardung is fully covered by ice, and even now you can see ice over there. The white area in the mountain is Khardung, and we are heading over there. The average temperature in the completely dry area is around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, so make sure to keep your jacket handy for the cold. For this trip, we have 3 vehicles. One is a Thar, in which Aravind and his family, who have come from Ernakulam for all India trip, are travelling. Another vehicle is an Innova carrying 3 people from Palakkad. Here, we need to show our entry permits at the checkpoint to gain access. Ladakh is different from other tourist places. An entry permit is required to visit. You can obtain this permit online by paying a fee. There are checkpoints on same roads where the permit will be checked. The permit specifies the places you intend to visit, your travel dates and the end date of your visit. As we proceed, the dry area transitions to snow. The road we are traveling on leads to famous places like Disket and Tartak. Khardung is a pass on this road. Until 4 to 5 years ago, this was the world's highest road. However, a new road in Umiling, India, has taken its place, making Khardung the second highest. In the morning, many vehicles with tourists have already arrived. The height of the peak is 17,982 feet. Arvind and his wife are posing for the photos. There's a chance of dizziness if you don't drink enough water and get adequate rest. Our bodies need time to accumulate to such high altitudes, which is why we rest for the first 1 or 2 days. You can see snow that looks like sticks. This occurs because during the day, the snow melts and falls into the road, and at night the temperature drops, causing the melted snow to freeze and take that shape. We plan to take on of these ice sticks. These sticks are quite heavy, with each one weighing around 2 kgs. Breaking these ice sticks is a popular activity for tourists. If left alone, the sticks will eventually melt. We are breaking some ice as we go. We plan to stay in Hunder. home to the world's highest sand dunes. We'll be stopping for photos along the way, so the other two vehicles have gone ahead. After passing through the snow, we descended and spotted some yaks grazing. Initially, I thought they were wild yaks, but then I realized they were domesticated. There is a river flowing beneath the snow, so I walked carefully to avoid breaking through. The yaks continued eating their grass, seemingly unfazed by our presence. Interestingly, all the yaks have insurance tags on their ears. It is said that the white mixed yaks are hybrids of yaks and cows, though I'm not sure if that's true. Most of the yaks are black and resemble our cows, but they have thicker fur to withstand the cold. Farmers raise yaks primarily for their milk. Sudheesh is the person who runs the Kerala house where we stayed for the past 2 nights. He's a great contact for anyone visiting Ladakh. You can reach out to him for assistance in accommodations, travel packages, or even tastes of Kerala cuisine. Many visitors to Ladakh know him through friends or by word of mouth, as Kerala House is a well-known place to stay. After some time, we decided to take the vehicle off the road. Thanks to Jimny, we could venture anywhere as there were only tire marks from other vehicles and no proper roads. Ladakh's main feature is its landscape filled with mountains and open areas. These lands are not privately owned, so we can travel freely without any restrictions. The 4x4 Jimny is perfect for this terrain and climate. Look at those mountains, they resemble a miniature Grand Canyon. The geography here is entirely different from other places, with each mountain displaying a variety of colors. You'll see more of this in upcoming episodes. This isn't a tourist spot. We simply deviated from the path because the place looked very inviting. It feels like we have reached another planet, doesn't it? As we head to our next destination, we'll understand how useful this vehicle is, off-road compared to on-road. The Jimny suspension is excellent. After a short off-road adventure, we return to the road. Occasionally, we might see a bike, car or military vehicle. We also spotted some yaks, which are much larger than those we have seen before. It's surprisingly to see them in this dry landscape with no visible grass to eat. If you're coming to Ladakh, be aware of the possibility of acute mountain sickness. It's important to rest and drink plenty of water at regular intervals, especially for bikers. Staying hydrated prevents many health problems. If you haven't rested properly, consider carrying an oxygen cylinder, the size of a hit bottle. For those traveling by car, this isn't necessary, but ensure you get a good night's sleep. We have reached the bank of the Shayak River. Today's journey is along this river bank. Although there is a large space between the mountains, the river flow is like a slim stream. It travels through Ladakh and Kashmir before entering Pakistan and merging with the significant Indus River. The Indus or Sindhu River holds historical importance in India. We'll be traveling on the sands along this river. Spotting a wild yak in Ladakh is rare. I believe this one is wild since it doesn't have any insurance tag or nose rings. We are starting to travel along the river where roads have been constructed. The river has a wide expanse filled with sand, indicating it might have flowed more extensively in the past. A little further, we encountered a small waterfall. The water in the Shaik River comes from melting snow atop the mountains, so small waterfalls are visible on the mountainsides. The water is as cold as that from a refrigerator. Since it's not sub-zero here, the water doesn't freeze. As the sun set, we headed to our room in Hunder. We couldn't explore Hunder, which is a home to the world's highest sand dunes, because it was late. We plan to visit there tomorrow. We slept and woke up at 5:30 am. Here, by 7:30 am, the sunlight is as bright as it would be at 10 am in our village. This is the camp where we stayed. They transformed the desert into a place reminiscent of Greenland, making it beautiful. Before breakfast, we went to visit a cave near our stay. This isn't a famous tourist destination because hardly anyone visits caves, and the roads are not very good either. This is the cave. Sudheesh, who has been here for a long time, knows many places that others don't. This cave is on the side of a mountain, so the sun needs to rise a bit higher to provide light. We moved a bit further where there are many more caves and plan to visit the first one on our way back. The 3 holes on the mountain are caves. Since we had reached here, we decided to enter one of the caves. In 1960s, Tibetans lived in these caves to protect themselves from animals and snowfall. Though they appear small from a distance, they are quite spacious, possibly modified over time. We realized that someone had been staying in these caves, as we saw ash and fire marks. It's fascinating how people lived in such caves. There are several other caves, but we entered only 2 of them. One of them was set up like a kitchen. The cave interiors are painted red at the bottom and white at the top. This is the Tibetan style. We saw Tibetan alphabets inside, indicating that people lived here about 20 to 25 years ago. Many Tibetan refugees live in various parts of India, and there are a lot in Ladakh because Tibet is adjacent to it. Ladakh offers a safe haven from similar climate to Tibet, providing refuge from the Chinese military. Most of the people in Ladakh are Tibetans or their descendants. When they initially escaped from Tibet, many were homeless and lived in caves with their goats and other belongings. However, the Indian government now provides them with various forms of financial assistance. Although they do not have an Indian citizenship, they continue to live in India as residents. On our way back, we reached the first cave. We saw and decided to enter it because there was too much sunlight outside. This cave is a large and naturally formed one. Look at the size of the cave. It gets dark in the evening, but with the sun on the opposite side now, there's a plenty of light inside. We brought a torch, but didn't need to use it. The cave's size becomes apparent when someone walks through it. This place is great for adventure enthusiasts. Sudheesh, who has completed his mountaineering course, said it's quite simple to navigate. Good shoe grip is important. I can't provide the exact location of this cave. It is not on the Google Maps either. And it's not a tourist destination. It's near Hunder. As we exited the cave, we felt less cold due to our morning exercise, which warmed us up. As mentioned in the previous Kashmir episode, our postpaid SIM cards won't work here. We need a prepaid SIM from the local area. Jio and Airtel are reliable over here. So, after coming back from the cave and coming straight to the room, after having breakfast, I saw the sand dunes in Turtuk and saw the Pakistan-occupied village and continued the journey with more beautiful sights. Stay tuned for the next episode.